million. Don't hold it hostage. Restore the 5 million. Don't hold it hostage. Restore the 5 million.
In a city plagued with poverty and dilapidated schools, a battle over funding to fix them heated up Wednesday when protesters gathered to demand Governor Larry Hogan restore $5 million he cut in a dispute over air conditioning.
We're asking you to give us our money just to fix the ACs, to fix the roofs, to fix the security systems, and you're taking that from us. How do you think these kids are supposed to feel?
Last month, the Maryland Board of Public Works voted to withhold $5 million from Baltimore City Schools and another $10 million from county schools. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan says he'll only release the money when the city and county have a plan to put air conditioning in all schools by the start of the next school year.
Public Works withhold $10 million from Baltimore County's request and $5 million from Baltimore City's request until both jurisdictions return to this board with a plan detailing how they are going to install air conditioning units in all unair-conditioned classrooms by the beginning of the next school year.
Baltimore City and County are the only two remaining districts in the state that have large numbers of classrooms without air conditioning. Last year, schools were closed several days due to excessive heat. The protesters say they want all schools to have ACs, but withholding this critical funding will only delay badly needed repairs. Hampstead Hill Elementary School students Star Flores and Deja Thomas spoke out after the rally.
Has been holding back $5 million for us to put AC in every single classroom in our schools, but it doesn't make any sense because how are we supposed to do all that by September 2016 if he's holding back money to help us put those ACs in?
Fortunate to have AC in our schools, but the thing that we don't have is like a new roof.
What's wrong with your roof?
It be leaking sometimes. Like we would have to come in school and have to walk around a bucket because we would have to put it down so that the water wouldn't leak on the floor and people would slip.
We asked Frank Patinella, an education advocate for the ACLU of Maryland and leader of the Baltimore Education Coalition, to respond to a statement from the Office of the Comptroller of Maryland. The Director of Communications, the Comptroller of Maryland, and they said, first of all, if they're saying that this school, for example, is not going to get an AC because money is withheld, maybe the city hasn't gotten the message. Maybe we need to withhold more money. What's your response to that?
I don't understand how withholding more money will solve any problems for city students. City students have the greatest need in the state in terms of funding. They attend school buildings that are the oldest in the state and the most efficient in the state, and it's been ignored for too long. So, my response to them is to look at all the health and safety issues and come up with a plan to properly fund and mitigate all these health and safety threats.
Matt Hornbeck, principal at Hampstead Hills, says withholding money for pre-approved projects unless the city installs temporary window cooling units is short-sighted.
If the governor's plan goes through with $27 million in temporary air conditioning units, it's going to mean cuts to field trips and good stuff, materials and supplies for teachers jobs themselves. We're already at a deficit in the city, and this is not a good time to make these kinds of demands on the city schools. There's so many other priorities, too, in terms of fire systems and roofs and leaks all over the district. I'm not sure that this effort on the part of the governor and the comptroller is really doing what it intends.
Among the community members speaking out at the rally was Guilford Elementary parent T. Hardy. She said withholding funding to high-need communities is the wrong approach. More than 90% of Baltimore students qualify for free or reduced lunches. On Tuesday, the school system announced over 100 layoffs due to budget cuts.
Up in these communities and they feel like no one cares about them, and then they go to school and there's nothing there for them but a poor education, a hot school, and a roof caving in on them. How would they feel that they are cared for? Sometimes all these children have is us to love them. All they have is the school. They're dealing with trauma all day long throughout their life, in their neighborhoods, in their communities, at home with their parents. And then they come to school and have to deal with the same amount of trauma. It's not okay. We have to invest in our children and in their education.
And talk about how this is impacting your community.
My community alone, I live in the Wilson Park community, and my community alone, it was 5 people were shot on Memorial Day. A young man was shot on Friday. Young man was shot 2 weeks ago, and 3 days after that, his friend was stabbed up. Not to mention the countless armed robberies that are going unreported. It's our children. And I hate to say it like that, but if we don't invest in them, if we don't show them that we love them, they're going to continue with this road. We want to combat the violence, we have to invest in these children. You can't combat the violence and not you have to start with these babies. They are our future. There's nothing else that matters.
We asked Principal Hornbeck to respond to the state's allegation that the city does have enough money to put ACs in every classroom. Baltimore City has returned $24 million in school funding, construction funding this year, $140 million unspent over the last 5 years. The school board has not accomplished what it has been instructed to do.
So I'd say that the state constitution provides for an adequate and good education for all kids, and that the governor and the comptroller are not doing that in Baltimore City. They're not working with their local partners, and I just think that they're playing politics. And so I think that they are not focused on the real issues and the issues that are important to kids and families in the city, and I really hope that they have a change of heart.
The next step, advocates say, is a city council hearing on June 14th. From Baltimore, this is Jessel Noor.